disclaimer to all air signs. Most of the videos that I do are very uncut, but yours is going to be the opposite. It's going to be cut like a birthday cake because your girl's driving. So I just, just for validation reasons, I'm very self-conscious about that. Just leave me alone. So I feel like just for common sense reasons, I should disclaim that this is not necessarily a good idea or probably a legal idea to make a YouTube video while driving. But yeah, don't do this at home, kids, type of energy. Warning, do not want to know that this is a general reading. These are meant for a lot of people, so if there is some lack of specifics, please mind that. Also, Spirit really has been pulling me to letting you know to consider other signs. Either one, lately I've been really drawn to Cancer energy. There's just been like little visual signs of crabs all over my life. I've been doing some emotional work, sometimes coincidence will bring you to other things. So I want you to really heavily embody that with this little series that I'm doing, because I'm doing that, or even maybe pick an earth sign, pick a water sign, pick an air sign, pick a fire sign that you're vibing with right now, or also other signs that are very present in your chart. Maybe your moon sign, maybe your sun sign is like an earth sign and your moon sign is like a water sign. So definitely watch the video for your water sign.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Watch the video for your air sign, or your moon sign as well, not just your sun sign. Consider the other signs in your chart.
Use 2 lanes to stay on I-65 South.
And really go with your intuition, because if there ever is a moment where you watch, like if your sun sign is...
Keep left to stay on I-65 South.
If your sun sign is like a Taurus, for example, and you click the Taurus reading, and it may resonate, but it may not hit as hard as maybe a different reading that I post. So maybe that could either just, definitely follow your intuition. If you feel very drawn to water energy, find a sign that you're drawn to that's a water sign if you are an earth sign. Really trust your gut. Go with what you feel. Don't just go with the blunt reality of like, oh, this is my sign, so that's my video. You get me? You feel me? Bless. Making the decision to use your body as a tool for life and a tool of protection, and not as something to inflict death on the self or others. Okay, so Libras, I'm so excited because your sign has so much to do with the vision that I was shown about your leaves. It's not actually tea leaves, but it's the same energy of a tea leaf reading, just using a different medium. And let's just say that this medium is incorporated into your sign, air. And the vision I had was of a dagger. The dagger is you. It is the tool that is used for life or death. And I just think that's funny. Like the duality is so in coherence with the duality of Libras, which I would also like to note that on my own personal journey, I've just recently discovered that my moon sign, because I've always been just so textbook, sun sign, any other sign, it's just my brain wouldn't go that far. I'm not getting in that deep. I've never really cared that much about the zodiacs, but I definitely was interested, and I found out that I have 2 moon signs. I had 2 different things going on there when I was born. So one of them is, I almost said Aquarius. One of my moon signs is actually other one, oh yeah, Virgo, which I find very funny because like I've always been very internally like a girly girl. Externally and spiritually in general, I'm like a 90-year-old man as a person, but there is like this side of me that is very, very rarely shown externally that is like very hyper feminine, so I find that funny. But also definitely I know a lot of my emotional empathy and intuition comes from this Libra energy, so definitely work that in your day-to-day life. If your sun sign is either there's somebody out there that doesn't know that their emotional their moon sign may actually be Libra, so if you're on this video or this part of the video for your sun sign, Spirit wants you to research your moon signs, and if not that, and if not your moon sign is actually like a Libra, then Spirit wants you to know that something's about to go down with a Libra, or maybe you are with a Libra right now, and that's what the reading is just trying to draw you to the energy of keeping that person in your perspective while I'm giving the reading. But either way, definitely lots of Libra energy. Anyways, so I was saying the scales and that dagger in between, Spirit is drawing you to the energy of balance internally. You can't always look at life from the perspective. Now, in your day-to-day life, you can use your body as either an object that can be used to bring people up and bring people alive and make them feel happy and full of life and not like their life is empty, or you can be that tool for destruction and death and make people feel internally like they are lacking, or externally like they are lacking, you know. Spirit wants you to really look at your day-to-day interactions with people and really, from an outward perspective, dig deep and analyze how you're treating people. Sometimes it doesn't always have to mean that you are doing something to harm someone. You may not actually be using your tool as, like, you may not actually be going out of your way to, like, hurt somebody, like, walking up and saying, hey, like, you look broke, you look ugly, you know, even shit. Like, that's really the point, is, like, the blatant, nobody would really just, I mean, God forbid, nobody would just blatantly walk up to somebody and say, oh, you're ugly, oh, your shoes are, like, not in style, oh, you look like so 2001, not like, you know. But it's, you know, all that stuff that you would never really say to somebody, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the only way that you would be avoiding using your body to bring someone alive. And that's really the energy here, you know. Maybe that, or maybe somebody's doing that in your life. Maybe there's somebody in your life that is really like, they're using their body as something to destroy you. They're using their body as a dagger to put into your back, to hurt you. Really analyze the people in your life. Make sure you are surrounding yourself with people that make you feel alive, that make you feel like not only you're just full, you're not just okay in there, but that you're abundant. Like, think about in terms of friends, even, or just acquaintances. Nobody wants to be around, you shouldn't want to surround yourself with people that don't gas you the fuck up. In a nutshell, like, point blank period, that's really just the energy. I don't know why it was so hard for me to get that out, but like, surround yourself with people that gas you the fuck up. It doesn't even have to be necessarily like I've always been such a realist about that shit. Like, whenever somebody gives me a compliment that I'm like, oh, that's so not true, but like, that's sweet that you are exaggerating my qualities that much, you know. Don't think of things in that sort of mentality, like so much realness. Really kind of like believe the things that people tell you. Maybe they're not just exaggerating. Maybe they're not just, take it from me. If I'm going to say something about somebody, like comparing them to a celebrity or whatever, I wouldn't be comparing them to a celebrity if I didn't really actually think that their qualities, internal or external, would be comparable to a celebrity. I'm being very metaphorical. I don't want people to think I am being so shallow like that, but like in terms of the metaphor, like nobody would go out of their way to say these things about you if they were not true. So don't look at the things that people tell you as such like far-fetched exaggerations. Really kind of acknowledge the fact that that may actually be true about you. You may actually be like a really sweet, kind, generous person. You may actually have better style than like, I don't know, a famous person. I don't know. But you feel me? Like, accept the gas. I wouldn't say gas yourself up. I mean, you always should in a sense, but like, believe the gas. If somebody's gonna gas something about you, don't just take it as like, oh, that's an exaggeration. Like, take it as like, hell yeah, fuck yes, I am that bitch, I guess. Oops. Oops, I'm that bitch. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm metaphysically kidding, but you get me. Yeah, I think that's a lot. I should move on to the next one. Namaste. Second vision was the energy of the ribs, the layer that protects the heart, and talking about protecting your emotions. Kind of for the first time really realizing the difference between people in my life that make me feel like I'm not alone, like I can always turn to them if I really need somebody to talk to or need somebody to give me some advice. Friends like that versus ones that kind of just make really bad decisions, and deep down that they don't really, like, they wouldn't really wholeheartedly do anything for you. They're too kind of busy, stuck on this journey of finding their own happiness. So it's almost like a very self-centric type of personality group in people, and in some ways it's not a bad thing. Like, in some ways you can be too concerned about yourself because you need to. If you're going through a lot mentally or emotionally, like, just for pure metaphorical reasoning, like if somebody dies in someone's life and you have a lot that you need to figure out to be able to cope with, learning how to cope with those kinds of emotions, there is always a little phase that you need to like just kind of focus on yourself and care about yourself. Then there are the people that can get stuck in that because they have a day-to-day sadness that they can't get rid of, and then they end up just being stuck in this vicious day-to-day cycle where they can't really care about somebody else because they're too busy trying to cope with themselves and deal with them. You need to protect your emotions and not get too emotionally reliant on those types of people. You can still love them, you can still care for them, but you should not emotionally rely on them. Remember those people that you really can emotionally rely on, that you really deeply love, to make you feel whole. There was also the energy of really learning what you need, and this brings the most protection of your emotions, which is acknowledging them and acknowledging ones that are a little scary. Like, it's one of those things where it's just scary because it's so real. that's just like our emotions, you know. It's scary how real they are. It is scary experiencing, you know, like, for example, if there's something that you really need, you think, oh, I can really do anything. I don't need anything. I really don't need anything. And then you sit in this position and this emotion and realize, wow, I really do actually need that. It actually would help me and heal me to deal with that. You know, it's crazy, but it's that kind of energy. Aquarius, what do we need to know? What is the medicine? You are at the end of a very long and bumpy road. Metaphysically, there's been a task so basically something you've been really heavily working for, whether that's a physical thing, whether that is an emotional thing. Maybe there's like this bitch that she's just she became a goal. She was not a woman, she was a goal. You had to get it. You know, maybe you're getting it. You're reaching the end of this period of having to work so hard for this thing that you are manifesting in your life and desiring. What else? In terms of what you have been working for, Spirit wants you to know that it's coming to you because you've put all of your emotions into it. You've been very passionate in your undertakings. You've been handling things very, very oddly, very well. Like where most people would have given up, you had the heart. You stayed true emotionally. You stayed true to your task and your path, and it was because you had this emotional connection to it. You didn't view what was happening to you and anything that may have been seemingly like a setback. You didn't take it for what it was. You took it as, this is, you know, something that's going to show me that I can overcome it, that I have the heart to keep going and really, really persevere. And Spirit wants you to say that it's over. This feeling of like you've been climbing the same mountain, and you know, you've just gone through so many things that have just pulled you down further and then back up a little bit more and then back down a little bit further. And Spirit wants you to know that you're at the peak. It's over. And if it's not over, then it's going to be over. And remember that all of this heart that you have put into this is just taking you all the way there. It's taking you right to that peak. Through your tea leaves, Spirit wants you to know that you need to be more protective of your emotions, because you seem to be very avoidant of the past, and you think that that's the way that you can really guard yourself emotionally. You think that just forgetting and pushing away the past, like, oh, it never happened, so I'm okay, like that kind of energy. Spirit wants you to know that, you know, in order to live your day-to-day life and be fully present, you know, we do have to incorporate every aspect of life, whether that is the good or the bad. You know, just focusing on the good isn't going to bring happiness or contentment. It's going to bring this constant need to find something to keep you in that feeling good, and that's just pushing away all this stuff that's still getting bigger and bigger, you know. But Spirit wants you to know that it's through incorporate the bad. Don't push it away, so that, you know, in terms of my road trip, for example, I am I'm not really able to focus on the road and feel comfortable and feel like I'm just driving. If I'm so busy, I'm not even going to be able to see the lines of the road right, or just stay a calm, smooth course. I'll be moving and swiveling around, if I'm constantly looking at the person behind me. Like, there's somebody tailing me for going over the speed limit, for example. Like, there's nothing going on. There's no reason that I have to be looking and, like, concerning myself with that thing behind me. But because of that, I'm swiveling and it's hard to drive. You can't live your life and steer your vessel and act from a place of self if you're so easily wavered, and you're just it's going to affect your energy just pushing away all of these things, because that means you're constantly focusing on trying to be happy and trying to, like, not acknowledge those things. But try acknowledging them and acknowledging more things about, like, what I want you to do is every time you feel like something's kind of sneaking up on you mentally that you don't want to think about, but you don't want to relive it, but you also want to feel content, just run through the files of your mind of what's positive and what is present about where you are at this very moment, and positive things. Like, just kind of run through your mind and be like, well, I'm just going to use examples from my life. Whenever I'm in that kind of place, I'll, just remind myself, well, remember when you didn't have a car? I'm in a car right now. Look at your car. Look at how, you remember when it was winter and you were cold all the time? Well, now it's summer. Like, just go through the files of the things that are around you that are positive, and just start to switch your mind into that place of, like, because that's being unwavering. When we're trying so hard to push away all these things, and it's just all this extra static shit going on outside of the present. So do this little mental exercise in order to remain present. Definitely think about positive things. If there is a negative thing, find a way to laugh about it. Like for right now, like, I could just be like, well, I'm stuck behind a semi, but I'm not broken homeless, like, just kind of become a little bit more unwavering by using just day-to-day little things that are not even day-to-day, but like present moment things that are just positive. And it'll keep you grounded. It'll just keep you here on earth, not so in your head, and that will help you protect yourself emotionally. Like, you won't feel the need to always be happy when you're more just content, and you won't be so carried away with your emotions once you really embody this unwavering energy. It'll just kind of keep you from, it'll keep your heart guarded. You won't be so emotionally affected by even just day-to-day people. Like, if somebody does something that normally would really hurt you, be like, well, I really look forward to seeing that person every day, so, like, I'm actually, like, kind of hurt that happened. Doing these exercises will really help you in situations like that be more like, okay, well, now I can appreciate when things are better, and now maybe I can find a different way to find that contentment. You'll just be more unwavered by it. It won't be so emotionally like, man, that sucks, it kind of hurts. It'll be more like, all right, well, what's next? What can I do now? It just things won't be so emotional. Stress won't be so painful. All your emotion, this lightness is going to come out. Things, once you really find ways to guard and protect your emotions, like through those exercises, finding this contentment, this unwavering spirit, it'll work some magic. I need to chill. I think I've gone a little too far. It's been a very long one. Got one more sign to do, and I'm excited, but like, Sister's been going in. These are some deep, deep readings. I might have to get some nutrition before the next one. Bye-bye. And the third vision was brought at a time where Spirit showed me so heavily the support. In those moments where you really feel like you're starting to lose your head, you really feel like you're starting to disconnect from your inner child, your inner thirst and joy for life. Even though there's, we're not living like pop stars or like rock stars over here, but just day-to-day life, enjoying it and being happy about it. Whenever you feel yourself slipping out of that, just remember to remain unwavering. Keep your head held high. Keep your crown on, that crown chakra. It was such a latent energy of the crown chakra, which is some serious inner work. It's very serious, and it's not like, a day-to-day task that you're undertaking. It's like some deep and profound spiritual work that you have to put in to attain this sort of level of consciousness and awareness. And it seems so easy, just remain unwavering, but the spirit will so easily get pulled and swayed away from the center, that place where there's no stress. There could be so many things going on in your day-to-day life that are scary. Like there could be some situations where you might have to take a loss, but it's those moments where you remain unwavering and you don't allow the seemingly real setbacks, because they are real, don't get me wrong, but it seems like, it's all over just because of that setback. There are things that'll happen that are else, but it doesn't mean that the race is not over. Just because you're falling behind a little bit does not mean that there's still plenty of time and plenty of chances to win the race. And there was a perfect envisioning of getting away with it, which is basically keeping that crown, keeping that unwavering spirit that, this is not a loss. This sucks. It's scary because, it's not in reality right now, but that doesn't mean it will never be in reality. It doesn't mean that it will never not work out in your favor. And the second that you remain unwavering, the universe, as it did for me, will just make you cry, just like it made me cry with the level of external validation for the fact that you really are going to come out of this victorious on the other side. That you really are, the vision I saw was like a mouse running away with the cheese. It's like, think about how that mouse has got to feel. It literally just walked up to the mouse trap, grabbed that cheese, and got away unscathed, untouched. Spirit wants to know that is you. You are getting away with exactly what you want, and you will come out of it just untouched, unwavered. So just remain unwavering, and then you will be unwavering in anything that you put your mind and body and spirit into. Okay. That turned out to be way longer than I planned. But it was lit. Gemini babies, alright. Spirit is initially wanting me to tell you that you can do it. That was just the very strong initial message. I was trying to go back and think about anything that I was actually planning to say to you, and Spirit was like, fuck all of it and let them know that they are more than capable. You are so much more capable than you know of accomplishing anything that seems unaccomplishable right now, anything that makes you feel like, shit, I really don't know if I can do this. Spirit wants you to know you not only can do it, you can make it your bitch. Period. Whatever it is, I'm gonna leave that up to you and your own intuition. You should know, but you're more than capable. You can do it. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And this is such a Gemini thing. You guys are very hype beasty, but like, Spirit wants you to know to be more like yourself. The way that you are with others, be more like that with yourself. Be your own hype beast sometimes and not just someone else's. Do those things that for a while, and I'm assuming based on my own experience that it's these retrogrades that have really been kind of pulling you away from that confidence in yourself to be able to do anything that you really want, anything that you were born to do, anything like, I'm thinking in a very artistic way, like there's some, or like talent centric way, you know, anything that you are talented in, you are born to do, and you are fulfilling your dharma and your purpose when you do it. So Spirit wants you to know you can do it, and you are more than capable. I just keep picturing the Adam Sandler guy. You can do it. What is it? The Water Boy. You can do it. You can do it. Just hear his voice anytime that you get any little shred of self-doubt. Just be, you can do it. I'm the worst, but that's going to work. Honestly, in my own personal life, I couldn't think of anything that would be more effective, because from a spiritual perspective, it is so fucking hard to embody a mantra, especially one that's new. But this is literally going to like sneak up and bite you. You're not even going to want to try to have to embody this message. But no matter what, anytime you hear any form of mental self-doubt, you're going to hear me and that dude going like, you can do it. You can do it. Okay. Well, I do not think that there is a more blatant connection of anything. Like, the fact that your initial reading is about, you know, that you can do it type of energy, and also the fact that, like, your entire vision is based off of the crown chakra, which is that full, unwavering, like, you don't even... It's not like you have to convince yourself to think you can do it. You don't have to go through so much mental baggage to be able to do the things that to anyone else would see that and be like, oh, that's like barely possible, or that's really hard. You know, you don't even have to think about it. You're just like, well, this is what I'm made for. I'm doing it. I don't even have to try. It'll just pour out of me, all of this. You know, that type of energy. That unwavering, you don't have to, you really just don't have to convince yourself to be able to do things at all. You just know for a fact, you don't even have to know. You're just solely acting from a place of, I can do absolutely fucking anything. And you will mentally and verbally just be spewing out all of this talent and this knowledge and just this spirit, you know. You're just going to be, you're not going to have to try at all, and you're just going to shine so brightly in every single thing that you do. Even day-to-day conversations, people, it's not just going to be like having a conversation with someone at a grocery store, you know, just like a have a nice day, whatever. You're going to have conversations where people, it's going to stick with the person. You're going to experience people on a level of where they're not just going to think, oh, what a nice conversation. They're going to remember that conversation. They're going to think about it the next day, you know. You're going to have just, your light is going to shine so brightly that it is just going to shed on so many people, you know. In terms of personality, in terms of talent, just everything. Beautiful energy. Honestly, I don't know why, but I'm getting, I think y'all are done. That was a pretty short one. Like, honestly, I'm just in shock, because I'm like, Spirit, you hear hear me. You're having mercy on the fact that every other reading was so fucking long and complicated. But y'all, it's not. It's not as long and complicated as you are making things out to be. Nothing is as complicated as you're thinking that it is. You know, it is just as simple as you can do it. You can do it all night long.